All right, so let's start our Pilates and yoga series by setting our posture. So let's stand with feet under hips, start to engage those inner thighs, lift the rib cage up off the waist, making a lot of room to engage that core, lots of room for the diaphragm to push the air up out of your lungs. Roll your shoulder blades down the back, lift your chin so that the back of the head is over the back of the spine. Let the rib cage expand as you take a deep breath. Rib cage expand sideways, belly expand out. And big exhale. Nice. All right, let's come down to the floor. Let's just come through our vinyasa to come down to the floor to start our Pilates series. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, palms to the mat, step those feet back. Big inhale. Exhale to chaturanga. You can hover to the mat, you can drop your knees, lifting up to up dog or cobra. Press back to down dog. And a big exhale. Let's come kneeling on the mat and let's lie on our back to start our warm up. We're going to warm up with a single leg knee fold. So we've got our feet flat on the mat. Nice gentle curvature of the lower back. So you should not feel your entire lower back in contact with the mat. Instead, compress your belly button down toward your spine. Tuck your shoulder blades under, and we're just going to just 2 quick pulls and exhales, bringing that foot back to the mat. Head and shoulders flat on the mat, looking straight up at the ceiling, being conscious of that lower back position, pressing the belly button down to the spine, trying to use the core muscles, both in the front and the back, to make it so that there's no movement of the spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you want, we can bring it up a level, kick out, bring it in. So head and shoulders are still on the mat. You can stay at level 1 if you need a little more warm-up time. Otherwise, we're bringing that other leg out to hover. Hover, nice. And hover, beautiful. Really good, nice. Pulling that knee toward the chest. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, last move here, you can lift that head and shoulders up off the mat. Now your lower back will press into the mat. Nice distance between the chin and the chest. Try not to compress that windpipe. Really draw the knee in toward the chest to get a little dynamic stretching going. Engaging that core, pressing the belly button down to the spine. Now we are pressing that spine down to the mat for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold on to those legs. Nice. We're going to stay on our back for this next movement. We're going to do some leg circles. So legs up in the air, tuck your shoulder blades under, palms flat on the mat next to your glutes or out in a T for support. We're going to move both legs together in a little circle. So we're trying not to rock our hips so much side to side. We're trying to press that belly button down to stabilize the spine and the position of the core. This is really core work. A little bit of hip flexor too. Just little circles here. Keeping those shoulder blades down on the mat for 4, 3, 2, and one. We're going to switch directions, little circles the other way. So really using that core, you're going to contract to bring those feet closer to your face. It relaxes a little as the feet go a little farther away, pushing those legs through the air with your muscles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set your feet down. Let's just do a little bit of dynamic stretch for those hip flexors. Push your legs up, or you push your glutes up into that bridge, tap down, up into the bridge, tap down, into the bridge. Feel a nice stretch at the very top of that bridge, really pushing the glutes up into the air for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up here, hold, lift, up high, pressing those palms down into the mat, making sure your shoulder blades are tucked so that your chest is open. That gives a little more room for lifting. Knees are strong, attracted to each other, but not falling in, definitely not falling out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, roll down. Let's come back to those circles. This time the legs are going to move independently. We're going to do an egg beater, circle both legs. Still a moderate size circle. We're not going to a full size circle today. Using that pelvic tilt to bring your legs closer to your face. And that pelvic tilt is coming from the muscles pressing down, not from momentum. Push, exhale on that pelvic tilt. The exhale gives you a nice cue to tighten that core, to contract those muscles for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, of course, we're going to change directions. Together, up and out. Together, up and out. Nice, really good. Nice pressing for that pelvic tilt. Just lifting the tailbone up off the mat a little bit. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Hug the legs, rock side to side. Let's come up for a seated work with our sa. So feet are going to be about the width of the mat, probably a little wider than hip distance. You can set your hands behind you. Make sure that both glutes are firmly seated on the mat, lifting up that spine super tall, arms out. We're going to twist and reach for the opposite foot. Nice exhale on that twist and reach. Coming up to that tall, straight spine. Nice. Beautiful. Keep it going. Really get a good twist here. See if you're getting a little further reach, the longer we stay in this exercise. Trying to get fingertips onto the bottom of your feet if you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Again, let's stretch those hip flexors. Just lift up for that static hold. Lift, lift, lift. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll down. Coming onto our bellies for some lower back work. I didn't really adjust my camera angle today. There we go. Okay. We're gonna do a cobra reach out. So our cobra, we've got our elbows on the mat. Right now, my belly is relaxed. My back is super swayed. I've got a huge curvature there. So what I'm gonna do is lift up from below by tightening that lower core to take some of that extra curve out of my spine and protect it. Staying here in this position, not relaxing your belly down to the mat, but staying here in this position of holding the belly. Top of the feet are pressed down into the mat. Reach one arm and then the other. Reach and reach. So working our lower backs here. Your hips want to roll side to side. And I'm not sure there's any way to prevent it totally, but definitely using your core to try to keep that roll to a minimum. In fact, let's bring our legs together, squeeze those inner thighs. Nice. So there's a lot of squeezing going on right here, inner thighs, belly. Trying not to squeeze the glutes because that takes the work out of the lower back. So try to keep the glutes relaxed, squeeze the inner thighs. That's kind of a nice opposition to contracting the gluteus muscles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Elbows right under shoulders, palms pressed onto the mat, more back work, but also some tricep work. Press up and down, up and down. Super important to protect your lower back here by holding onto the core and down, up and down. So you should be lifting not only with your arms, but lifting with your back, using those muscles, recruiting them to help lift your body. They're not just along for the ride. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's finish this lower body series by bringing your hands underneath your forehead. We're going to do a reverse crunch. So the tops of the feet remain glued down to the mat. Lift that upper body up and lift. Lift and lift. You can leave your hands on the mat if they're adding too much weight, but trying to get the work to happen in the lower back. You're going to feel this tomorrow, but building up those muscles is so important for long-term prevention of back pain. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push back into a child's pose. Give that back a nice stretch, toes together, knees apart, fingertips spread, pushing back with your hands through your shoulders to get maximum stretch in that lower back. You can rock your hips side to side, whatever you need to do to loosen that up. Really good. Let's come to a side plank variation now. So we're going to have elbow under shoulder. Go ahead and roll up the mat a little bit. We're gonna be out on our knees. So we have a straight line here from our shoulder to our knee. Arm up, top leg lifted. We are going to touch front and back. So touch front, rainbow all the way up, touch back. Nice. Good control. So trying to keep those hips parallel to the wall, trying not to let them rock back and forth, getting that top leg up as high as you can as you rainbow front to back. Shoulders aligned to the wall too, shoulders and hips aligned, making a nice square. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Let's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Switch to the other side. Just getting set up, straight line. Shoulder, elbow, knee, hip. Lift that arm up, lift the leg. Touch front, rainbow up, touch back. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Nice job. Keep it going, really good. Beautiful. Good alignment of those hips. And tap, tap, and tap. For 4, lifting that leg up and over. 3, 2, and 1. Lift the leg just up, 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 up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay, let's come onto our backs. We're gonna do a crunch variation. So we're gonna have our knees together and drop to one side. This hip is lifted up off the mat. We are going to crunch straight up. So head and shoulders stay straight up. As we crunch, we'll kick that top leg. Crunch and kick. Nice. Crunch and kick. So trying to lift the head and shoulders straight up. Your body is maintaining a permanent twist. They do want to open up to that side that the knees are dropped. Exhaling on the way up. Inhale on the way down. For 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep those hips really high. 4, 3, 2. Let's come up and pulse, 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 pulse. Just pulsing that leg up, pulsing your head and shoulders up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Really concentrating on straightening those shoulders up to the sky. Pulse, pulse, pulse. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Rock your legs side to side. Loosen things up, and we're gonna end up on the other side. Hips stacked as straight up high as you can. Shoulders flat on the mat. Lift head and shoulders to the sky while you kick that leg. The heel that's on the floor is aligned with your glutes. Cross, crunch, and kick. Crunch and kick. You might not have felt much on the other side yet, but I'm guessing that you're feeling it just about right here in the rectus abdominis right now. Kick, kick, and kick for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's get ready for our pulse. And 1. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Leg up just a little bit, just a couple inches. Head and shoulders up, straight up to the sky for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pencil stretch. Extend those legs, extend those arms. Reach one arm and the opposite leg. Reach, reach, reach. Trying to get as much length as you can along the side of your body. And let's sit back up for our plank variation. Let's do plank to down dog today. So hands will be underneath your shoulders. You can be on your knees, straight line, top of the head down to the knee, not popping the booty up, or you can be on your toes, straight line, top of the head to the heels, not dropping the head, not popping the booty. Well, now we're going to push back to our down dog and press all the way forward to a plank. Push back. So we're going to push back, at a medium speed, but really slow, coming to the front, because I want you to feel your head going through all the positions. Push back. And I want you to really feel how low you can get your hips. The instant you feel anything in your lower back, they're too low. But it's always a nice exercise to make sure that we're getting those glutes down as low as they need to be to maximize that engagement of the core. Push up, slow down, 2, 3, 4, push up, slow down, 2, 3, 4, push up, 2 more, slow down, 2, 3, 4, push up, down, 2, 3, 4, push up. Let's come down to that full plank. We're going to take 8 counts to get there, and then we're going to do a hold. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reaching your top of your head forward, pressing those heels back, pushing up through your shoulders, trying to dome your spine in between your shoulder blades. Nice. Really good. Glutes as low as they can go so that you have full engagement for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit back. You can roll your wrists. You can come into a child's pose. Really awesome. Let's finish our Pilates series with our hundreds. Done a lot of work on our back today. It's kind of unusual. I didn't notice that when I was coming up with our format today. Well, let's come down onto our back. You can have knees bent. You can have legs extended. You can have them in parallel. You can open up into a Pilates V, AKA ballet first position. Roll the head and shoulders up off the mat. Beat the air. Inhale. Exhale. So choose your own breath. 10, 20, 30. Pressing down with that lower core for the pelvic rotation. 40. Recommitting to lifting that head and shoulders up off the mat. 50. 60. 70. Press it down. 80. 90. And 100. Let's come to a happy baby. Hold on to those feet, ankles, or calves. Rock side to side. Try to press the knees into your underarms to open up the hips. And let's do one roll like a ball to get to seated. Hold on to your knees, roll like a ball with good control. Feet on the floor, keep your head down. We are going to slowly roll up, head last, feeling every vertebra, feeling all of the space we've created between them. Roll your shoulders back, open your palms to the front. For our Tadasana, you should feel really aligned, tall, and strong right now. Let's come into our yoga series. Let's start with our vinyasa. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, back to a fold. You can grab onto your big toes in a yoga toe hold. You can grab onto each opposite elbows for a rag doll, or you can bring your palms under your feet for a gorilla. Whatever stretch expression you need right now, trying to straighten the knees to get a good stretch on the back, on the glutes, on the hamstrings and the calves. And if you're in a bind, let go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or jump back into that plank, which you should feel really strong in. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. Rolling your arms through your shoulder blades to drop your head down between your hands, letting your heels float toward the mat. Continuing that stretch along the back of the leg that we had in our forward fold. And now lift your right leg into the air. Exhale it between your hands. Rotate your left foot down to the mat, coming up to our warrior one. Front knee really strong. See your big toe on the inside of your knee. Roll your shoulder blades down, making sure they're not creeping up to your ears. Hips are aligned to the front. Let's hold for 3 breaths. As you try to float down to the mat. Inhale, arms to heart center. Open into a warrior two. Really press the outside of that back leg, that left foot to the mat. 3 breaths again, trying to float down on our exhales. Lift that front hand up. Bring your back hand down above or below your knee for our peaceful warrior. 3 breaths. And bring yourself into your extended side angle. Tuck that elbow on the inside of the thigh, bottom hand strong up to the sky, top arm reaching, really working to get those shoulders parallel to the wall. Feel that awesome stretch on your side and your back. 3 breaths. Palms to the mat. Step that foot back into the plank. Inhale. On your exhale, hug the elbows to the ribs. Your chaturanga. You can hover or you can drop your knees, coming up to up dog or to cobra, pushing back to down dog. And let's do that nice slow series on the other side. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale it between your palms. Turn the right foot down to the mat. Set your alignment. Start your breathing and your floating. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale into your warrior two. Recommit to pressing the outer edge of that back right foot to the mat. Flip that front palm, peaceful warrior. 3 breaths here. Trying to maintain that strong front knee and let yourself float down toward the mat. And extended side angle, strong bottom arm, really open, chest and shoulders to the wall. 3 breaths. Palms to the mat. Step that foot back. Inhale, exhale, hugging your elbows, floating down toward the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Exhale, down dog. Look up between your palms, step or jump your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, palms to heart center. Let's let our heart rate slow here. We're coming into our Utkatasana, our chair pose. So we're going to start with our palms here at heart center. Bring your big toes together. Squeeze those thighs together, keeping your knees parallel with each other. Try not to let one knee come in front of the other. Sit back into that chair, and as you sit back, lift your arms up to the sky. Awesome, really good. Squeezing those thighs. Gaze is level. Try not to look down, just look straight ahead. Two more breaths. And slowly rise back up. We're going to come back into that Utkatasana, and this time we're going to do a twist. So big inhale, exhale, sit back in the chair, lift up those hands, bring your palms to heart center, look down at your knees, make sure that they are parallel with one another, and now twist to one side, hooking an elbow in. Really concentrating on the chair part of this pose, pushing your glutes way behind you. Really trying to keep your palms at heart center. Nice twist here. And now you can open up your hands. One arm up, other arm, oppositional force on the outside of that knee. And let's get really crazy here and step your left foot, so that's the foot that's the opposite direction you're twisted, out. Bring that palm to the mat and continue that twist. Nice. Really good. You can get a little more twist here since you have 3 points of contact with the floor. One more breath here. And step that left foot back in, return to your Utkatasana twist. Bring yourself back to center and rise up. Take a second before we do the other side. All right, toes together, squeeze those thighs, sit back into your chair on an exhale. Beautiful. Palms to heart center, twist to the left side this time. Trying to keep those palms at heart center. Working to push the glutes behind you. Getting as deep in that chair as you can. One more breath before we step that right foot back. Step the right foot back, replace it with your right hand, and twist in this lunge. Feel this awesome stretch in your glute and your hamstring. Use the bottom shoulder to rotate the top shoulder open even more. It's almost impossible to open too much. Inhale and then exhale that right foot back to your Utkatasana twist. Return, untwist yourself, coming back to that Utkatasana, and exhale your way up. Nice. That's kind of an intense series. We're down. That puts a lot of pressure on your orthostatic blood pressure. So if you're feeling lightheaded, just give yourself a second. We're going to come into our balance pose now. We're going to do our eagle. So let's start by putting your right elbow on top of your left elbow. And we're going to plant our right foot. These are at shoulder height. Plant our right foot, lift up all the toes, set them down. Cross that left foot over. You can bring the toes to the floor, or you can twist all the way around, depending on your balance and flexibility. And sit back again into a chair. This time your head stays up, so we won't have that same orthostatic pressure problem. Keeping your elbows lifted. You can bring them down to your knees to a fold if you like. I find it more challenging and a better stretch for my shoulders to leave them up. And fly. Palms to heart center. Nice. All right, this time, left elbow on top of right elbow. Twist those hands together. Lift up those left toes, set them down one by one. Cross over that leg in a twist and sit back into your chair. I am less steady on this side, so I'm going to use my toes for balance. One more breath. And fly. Really, really good, you guys. Okay, let's come down to the mat for bridge and wheel. So let's spread our feet now hip distance. Open up our arms into our nice Tadasana, shoulders rolled back. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or jump back into your plank. Inhale. Exhale to your chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. And bring your legs all the way through your hands. Let's start with our bridge. So we already warmed up to this during our Pilates portion, but let's be a little more deliberate here. Let's walk our heels as close to our glutes as we can. Tuck your shoulder blades under. Start with your palms on the mat. As we did in Pilates, you're going to start by pressing your lower core down to tilt your pelvis up. That's going to lift your hips all the way up into the air. And now you can clasp your hands underneath you to get a nice stretch across the chest and in the shoulders, lifting those hips just as high as you possibly can. Lost my hands. Gaze is straight up to the ceiling. Try not to turn your head while it's in this crunched position. Lifting up high. And slowly roll back down to the mat. This time we're going to practice one leg. So you can start with both feet, or you can start with one leg on the mat and one leg in the air, just depending on what you'd like to try. And inhale, exhale, roll that pelvis up into the air for a one-legged hold, lifting up those hips high, and clasp those hands. And roll down. Switching to the other leg, either lifting up on both feet or lifting up on one foot. Inhale, exhale, roll through that pelvic girdle, lift up into the air. And roll down. Last time for this, last iteration, it's your choice. A bridge or a one-legged bridge variation. There's lots of fun variations. Cross your leg. You can have your leg up parallel, or you can join the wheel if that's in your practice. For the wheel, again, walk those heels toward the glutes. Fingertips are pointing toward the toes. Strong hands, rotate through the pelvis, lift up through the feet, and then lift up through the shoulders. Strong legs, not letting your knees open to the side. And roll yourself back down to the mat. Again, child's pose. Holding onto those feet, stretching those hips, opening them up, letting your knees come down into your armpits, or at least imagine that. And now it's time for our Savasana. Extend those feet. Let your legs flop open at a comfortable distance. Tuck your shoulder blades under, palms up to the sky. Close your eyes, let your breathing slow. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Bring your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. And now let's roll to one side, using your arm as a pillow, tucking your knees, your toes. Into a seated position. Palms up, thumb and forefinger together in the mudra. Let's do 3 deep breaths here. Palms to heart center. Big inhale. Exhale them to your forehead. And if you'd like, you can join me in a bow. Namaste. Thanks for joining today. I hope you got the workout that you needed to get you almost to your weekend.
Thank you.